the reason why they are separated. And when you find out, be intentional to fight that reason. Go and meet your father, let him talk to you. Go and meet your mother, let her talk to you. If your father says your mother is not submissive, then you be over submissive. If they say, this man has turned you to a mumu person, say, don't worry, I know the battle I'm fighting. And she told me, she said, my elder sister is separated from the husband as I talk to you. So you are following a pattern that will repeat itself. Go and find out what is the reason why your father left your mother. And he said the father tried to remarry 2 different times and it is not working. I said, you need to find out the reason. Because a fruit does not fall far from the tree. You will repeat the same thing if nothing happens to you. So you will pray about it, then you will be intentional about it. And say, Lord, if your father said your mom does not listen, if I speak one, she will speak 3 times. When your husband is speaking one, just say you are correct, sir. He said, talk, and I said, no. Because you know it is speaking back that kills the relation. You must now be intentional about what you are confronting. Because there are patterns that you must not repeat. And when you are going to follow someone, God choose the pattern to follow. You don't choose that pattern. Because God made you and made your destiny. And he knows this is the pattern you need to follow for your destiny to happen. If you are not following that pattern, you struggle. What are your characteristics as you follow? I don't know. The Lord stopping me from teaching this. Number 1, if you're going to be a good follower, as a follower, you are a good follower. The characteristics of a good follower, they are sold out to the vision of the leadership. This is number 1. How do you know if you're a good follower? You are sold out. They own the vision of the leader. They run with that vision as their own. He said, what is happening? He said, let's do our own. The little we can do. The leader will be doing, the pastor friend will do, and his wife, they will do that. It's because the devil is helping your ministry. You are not the follower that can be trusted. When you are a good follower, you are sold out. It becomes your own. You are not contented, you are not satisfied until the best of it comes. I'm not talking about the church alone. I'm talking of anywhere you get yourself. Either you get to a company that is owned by a Muslim, or you go to a company that is owned by a Christian, or anywhere you are in the church. When you come into that vision, make it your own vision. Because if you are not faithful with another man's own, God will not give you your own. Number 2, the characteristics of a good follower, they are willing to defend, to protect, and support the vision of that leader or that organization. They defend it. It's not that when they say, this JPF said, we need to be careful. I didn't know you know. You are not a good follower. Even yesterday, let me tell you what happened here. You have been tested, you can't be trusted. He said, why? What's happening here? And you put a defense. You put a support. And you protect because it is your own. Of course, should we give room for constructive criticism? Yes. Are there things we should do differently that we're not doing? We are work under progress, work in progress. We get better every day. We don't condemn, we don't criticize, we don't pull down. It is our own. It is our own. That is followership. If God did not see that in Joshua, he won't replace Moses. If Elijah failed in that realm, he can't become the prophet. Timothy needs to pass that test to replace Paul. And let me tell you something. For your light, and I don't know if you can take this truth, and it's the truth. I just pray you can understand it. For your light to come, one light must go. If Moses will not die, Joshua will never come. Elijah must pass for Elisha to surface. Vashti must be removed for Esther to come. There is always a light that must go down for your own light to shine. God said, I need the light of Saul to go, but the light that will replace, I still don't find one competent. And it took 13 years after God rejected Saul. It took 13 years for God to build the light that will replace Saul. Saul would have died 13 years earlier than the time he died. But the light that will replace him was not strong enough. And it took 13 years. After 13 years of building, he said, now, I've found a replacement. Now, let this person go now. And do you know God can keep the wrong leader in place? Because you are not yet a true follower that is tested, that can be trusted in leadership. Before you come into true leadership, you need to be tested in followership. And when you follow, you defend. You protect. Of course, you listen to constructive criticism. There are things we should do differently. There are things we can do better. We are humans and we're getting better. And we are learning. And we don't speak against what we are part of. Because we speak against ourselves. The Christian community is the only soldier that fights itself. In the medical world, it is a disease. When the white blood cells turn against themselves and they fight against themselves. You see a brother in the church speak against another brother. A sister in the church speak against them. What are you doing? You don't understand the implication. You are fighting against Christ. For you, you are speaking against Brother Tunde. But for Christ, you are speaking against Christ. This is the body of Christ. Why are you fighting me? He said, Saul, why are you persecuting me? He said, Lord, I'm not persecuting you. He said, no. He said, when I was hungry, you didn't feed me. He said, if we see you, we will feed you. He said, no, when you do something to these children of God, you did it to me. Did you speak against any one of them? You spoken against me. Except they are not born again. They don't need to be there, provided they are saved. If you speak against them, you spoke against Christ. He said, well, you did, when I was hungry, you didn't give me. We didn't see you to be hungry. We didn't see you to be thirsty. He said, no, you don't need to see me. You just need to see a Christian. Once you touch a Christian, you touch Christ. He doesn't need touch normal anointed. I'm not talking in that context. I'm talking about the body of Christ. That you see Sister Ene and you spoke against Sister Ene, you spoke against Jesus. He will fight. You see people pray and they are not moving from a spot. They fought themselves. As a good follower, you defend, you protect, and support. Number next, what is the characteristics of a true follower? They seize the initiative. What does that mean? They are followers that bring ideas. They are not waiting to be told what to do. See, when I'm talking in this context, I'm not talking about JPMI alone. I'm talking about even your organization. A great follower is not the one who is waiting to be told and says, you say I should be teaching class 2. You didn't tell me what to teach them. You are an average follower. You're not a great follower. A great follower is not waiting. They bring ideas and say, I'm thinking we should do this, do this. You generate the idea. He said, they are followers that bring ideas. They are not waiting to be told what to do. Great followers say, this is what I think we should do, and not what do you want me to do. Do you understand it? I think we should do this based on the vision of this organization. This vision says we should do this. This vision says we should do this. Our vision says we should raise end-time leader. Because we are raising end-time leader, we should do this. And say, sir, what do you think about this? It's not say, you said we should raise end-time leader. I don't know. But tell me what to do. You are not a great follower. They take initiative. They decide. They think ahead. Number next. A great follower, one of their characteristics is that they create their own job. How? They set up a goal and work to achieve it. They set up a goal. That, okay, I'm the director here, I'm the head of the unit here. This is what I want to achieve in the next 6 months. They set up a goal and they work to achieve it within a set time. They always present their plan, their goal before their leader and before their leader asks for it rather. They present their goal to their leader before their leader asks for it. In this way, they demonstrated that they could lead themselves. So they put their goal before the leader. Sir, you have made me the head of unit of drama. This is my vision. This is what I intend to achieve. This is what I want to do within the next 3 months. You have made me the class teacher for this school of primary 1. This is my vision. This is my goal. I plan to achieve this. They show the leader before the leader even asks for it. And what are they proving to that leader? I can lead myself. I'm a trusted follower. They create their own vision, their goal. So the leader can say, okay, this is good. You can have this. You can take this. You can do that. That is the characteristics of a great follower. An average follower waits till you tell them, well, you know you are the head of this place. I think you should do like this. They don't have initiative. They don't own it. Number next, the characteristics of a great follower is that they are coachable, they are teachable. They have a willing heart to learn. They are open to corrections and rebuke as they seek to be better and to serve better. So they are willing to be taught. They are willing to be corrected. This is what I'm doing. If you're wrong, oh, thank you, sir. They don't take corrections as an exit package. They say, look, the parents are complaining that the way you are teaching those years, they say, tender my resignation. You are not a follower. You have been tested and you have failed. You can't be trusted. If at every correction you misbehave, you take your own pattern, you take your own turn, you have failed the tests. You can't be trusted. Every great follower will be tested to be trusted. What is the characteristics of a true follower? They anticipate. Great followers stay a step ahead of their leader by sincerely asking the question. What is the question? If I were my leader, what will I want to do next now? So they anticipate. Okay, if I'm actually the head of this school, if I'm the proprietor of this school, or if I'm the head of this company, what will I do? They think like that. If God is giving me the assignment to pioneer this church, I'm the senior pastor of this church, what will I do as the head of the unit? What will I want to do? They anticipate. They think ahead. And so, okay, assuming I'm the head of this company, what will I want to do to make this company great? I'm telling you secrets that makes you followable. Because one thing before God can trust you to be a leader is that, are you followable? Before God can bring men to follow you, you must have followed and proven to God that you are a true follower and that men can also follow you. If you are not followable, God cannot trust you in leadership. What makes you followable is that your own proven track record of followership is enviable. That we can look up to it. So they anticipate, assuming I'm the head of this company, I'm the owner of this company, what will I want to do differently? What will I want to do? And they come with the ideas. Okay, I will have loved to do this. I will have loved to do this. Then they come to say, okay, now let me do it. Do you understand? But if you have people like that, teachers in your school, will you be glad about it? Who think for you and say, if I'm the owner of only child, what will I do differently? And they're thinking and they're planning. You can increase their salary because they've owned the vision. If you are not faithful with that which is another man, who will give you your own? Number next, characteristics of true followers is that they are great learners. A true follower wants to be better so that he can serve better. So they learn. Some of them go for additional skills. Some of them go to acquire more knowledge. Some of them go take their master's degree. Some of them take professional courses. Not because they want to have certificate, but because they want to add value. I say, I'm the head of this school, I'm the head of this company. As the head of this school, or I'm a teacher in this school, let me take additional course on child psychology. He said, who is sponsoring this? He said, don't bother. I just want to serve better because if I prove loyal here, the head of the school will not reward me. The God who gives to one who is faithful with another man will give me my own. And you went to do child psychology not because the owner of the school will pay you additional fee, but because you just want to teach differently. You finish NC, you finish teachers college, you finish all educational management courses, but there is something more. You're having challenges. You know, psychology says something about children that when you want to talk to your child and you shout on the child, this one, he said they are likely to forget the correction. I said, next time, don't put that cup on that place again. They will likely put it there. Psychology said when you want to talk to a child, that you should put your hand on the shoulder of that child. See, putting the cup there is not good. He said putting the hand on that shoulder helps the brain. That in such a way, in a calm way, the child will never forget. How will you know that? There is a course called child psychology. Go and study it. Be a better teacher. And people say, your own class is different. What's happening? You are developing yourself. Not because you want additional pay, you just want to be a better follower. Because you know if you are a better follower, you will end up becoming a better leader. Okay? It applies. I'm only using teaching as a practical example. The same way in anything. You can be in an organization and there is issues with your IT. Go for a course, big data, and just go study big data, things like that. And what is taking them 3 months to do, in 1 week you are done. They say, how do you do it? He said, no, I just finished a course, big data. They taught us how to do this. Oh, this is valuable. They may not pay you immediately, but they value you for the rest of their life. I need you to want to leave a place. When I say leave a place, including JPMI, I don't think I'm overprotective. And in 3 years, we are struggling to replace you. You understand what I'm saying? Your impact and value is too strong that when you left, the people we brought can stand and compete. When it was time for me to leave Bishop Francis Lanre-Oke, and I wrote him a mail, sick and all this. I said, sir, the Lord told me I should leave. He said, okay, I'm not releasing you. I said, no problem, Daddy. So I stayed. After staying for 4 months, he saw me. He said, are you still around? I said, sir, you said you're not releasing me. He said, yes, I'm not releasing you. Stay. I said, okay, sir. So I was still there. And one day he came, he said, okay, the Lord spoke to me that everyone who wants to go, I should release him. So I went to him. I said, sir, you said, and the Lord said, he said, yes, truly, the Lord spoke to me. I said, but he said, but even though the Lord said I should release everybody, you will still stay for 1 or 2 months more. I said, okay, sir. Then, when he said that in a meeting, it was a pastor's meeting. One pastor quickly wrote a letter. I said, hey, this is an opportunity. God said, Papa said, God said, anyone who wants to go, you should release it. I said, sir, I want to go in 2 months' time. Do you know what Bishop Lanre-Oke said? He said, no, tomorrow. Let him go tomorrow. I'm not lying. He said, tomorrow, let him go. And he asked the finance, they compute all his entitlement, pay him. By next week, he should go. We don't need him in 2 months' time. And me, that has been speaking months before he got a conviction, he still delayed me and said, I will send somebody to your church. He will stay under you. He will understudy you for a month or 2. Then after that, you can now go. And that was the time he prayed for me. That brother, after that day he came, he said, did he do wrong? I said, no, you didn't do wrong. Because as he said, sir, I will be going 2 months time. Don't 2 months time, go next week. So he came to me and said, where did I go wrong? I said, I don't think you did wrong. What am I trying to say? I need you to want to leave a place. And it's difficult to let you go. Because when you eventually, in fact, when the pastor that was to take over from me came, and Mommy Lanre-Oke said, are you the one to take over from him? He said he was to stay with me for the next 1 month or thereabout. He said, you must go fast and pray to take over from this kind of person. She said it to the man in my presence. Because there was a time God really helped me. I was posted from Ogumosho Church. I was posted to Ondo Church, to pastor Ondo Church. And when I got to Ondo Church, it was 15. And the next 2-3 weeks, 15 became 48. And Bishop Lanre-Oke called me. He said, tell me, what are you doing differently? I said, Daddy, I don't even know. I only know I'm praying and I'm preaching. That's all. Keep it up. I may send you to the Port Harcourt Church. I said, no problem, sir. That was how we were there. And so when I was to leave, it was difficult. They needed to wait and say, look, and search for somebody who would take it over. And when they found that person, they said, we're not released. I stayed months after. And he said, until he now said, God told me I can release. And that was when I was willing to go. If he didn't release me, I will be there today. I won't say God spoke to me. God must speak to him. God is a God of order. If he didn't release me, I will be there till JPMI will have been sort of the spirit ministry. We will still be doing it. Until that, he still saw me. I said, my son, how are you? This one. He said, please invite me. I'll come and minister for you. It is because I stayed true as a follower. He said, I can't forget you. He said, even up till now, you still send me money. I said, Daddy, I don't know you get it. He said, I get the alert. I said, I don't know. I said, may I just send money? He said, no, I see the alert. I said, that's great. He said, please invite me anytime. And things like that. He said, relationship, because I was following him bumper to bumper. He said, you are not going. I said, no problem, sir. If I think I hear God, he hears better. I thought God has told you. If God has not spoken to me, I keep with him. I keep staying. Until he says, go. And do you know the problem? If God had told me go and he says no, I can go and struggle. I will say, but God, you are the one who told me. He said, yes, the one who you are under. He didn't allow you. God told Israel, go. Pharaoh said, don't. They dare not go. Until Pharaoh now said, go. And God will not say, don't mind Pharaoh. Say, I'm the one who created him. I said, just go. God needed to wait until Pharaoh will now say, if they had gone, all of them, including Moses, will have been buried. God is not a God of disorder. There are destinies that are trapped because of who they are following. No, it's a teaching for another day. Okay, followers are great learners. Number next, followers are great communicators. If your leader ever have to ask you for a report as a follower, then you are actually failing as a follower. Your leader should not ask you for a report. Great leaders are most times warriors. They worry about so many things. So great followers, they preempt the worry by proactively communicating in writing. Don't wait till your leader asks you, give me the report. Before he asks, give the report to him. Sir, this is the report of what you have done, interim reports. This is the report of what happened in the month. If he needs to ask you for it, you are failing as a follower. Don't wait for him to ask. Give him the report of what has happened before he asks for it. Number next, Pastor, I want to finish this point of a great follower. They are goal-driven. They are driven by a goal. Every good and great follower uses the vision of the organization to prioritize their daily activities. The purpose of followership is not just to get busy or doing hard work. It is to strategically deliver on clearly defined goals and vision that materially impact the mission. So when you see a great follower, what do? They have the vision of the organization they're working with, either an engineering company, an education, a law firm. They have the vision, and they use that vision to draw their priorities for that day. Because it is not just enough to say you are busy every day you go to work. It is required that what you are doing is practically impacting, evidently physically impacting on the overall mission of that organization. Either a church, either a firm, either a school, anywhere. As a great follower, you must have your to-do list. Your to-do list must be born. He said, why do you have to do this? Because you must be used. Because that's the language you want. He said, they are using you. Say, I need to be. Because if you are not used, you can't be made. So if somebody says, see, they are just using you. Say, I'm looking for the person that will use me. Because it takes being used to be made. Let them use me. It is in using me that I'm made. If I was not used, I won't be here. I was used. And I thank God for being. When I was the pastor in Ogbomoso, I'll go. Because before I became pastor in Ogbomoso, I was the PA to Bishop Lanre-Oke. And he said, son, I need you in the field. This one you are following me around. It's okay. Go to the field. I said, okay, sir. Sent me to go. When he calls for pastor's meeting, and I come, then I come back as PA. He said, what are you doing? I said, Daddy, I need more of that thing that comes to me through you. He said, okay. So I carry it. I follow it. So the following weekend, I go back. At the end of the month, I come, then I still follow him. Why? I said, I need that thing. At first, he felt like, you are no longer my PA. I said, no, it's not about being your PA. There is something I get from you that makes me effective there. So when you come into followership, the vision of that organization becomes your priority. It's your to-do. Let it consume you. So you plan your daily activities. I remember when I was in Oshogo with Reverend Lanre-Oke, and Mommy Lanre-Oke said, do you have to-do list? You should have things to do. I said, no, ma. He said, what kind of person are you? He said, you are the to-do list for me. I don't have my own life. Okay, what if I say I want to pray 6 to 7, and you said I should go to bank 6 to 7? How does that? It doesn't work for me. And he said, no, you should have to do this. I said, it's not practically working. Because to have a to-do list means I control my time. And when I explained to her, she understood. Because 1 a.m., I can go wash mama's clothes, baba's clothes, and finish washing by 3. When I finish washing by 3, I will pray till 6. 3 a.m. to 6 a.m. When I finish praying 6 a.m., I wash all the cars, clean all the toilets, wash all the plates, clean all the garbage, and serve also as the gate man. It is that being used that brought me here. I was the gate man to Reverend Lanre-Oke. I wash. See, in the morning, all the cars in his house with joy, with pleasure, as I'm washing and praying. Because Reverend can't just give anybody car. And in my greed, understand the word greed, I say, God, this one I'm washing, let them give me. Until I left, he didn't give me any of the car. And sincerely, the truth be told, when I was leaving, he was not willing that I go. But at that time, God has spoken to me. You are leaving from here, you're going to Bishop Lanre-Oke. He was reluctant. He felt like, oh, you should still stay. I said, sir, I told you from the beginning, I'm just coming to stay 1 year here. And he felt like, okay, yeah, you said you're coming to stay 1 year, but you can still stay. What is? And I remember what Mommy Aregun said. They said, please keep the connection, keep the relationship. Because I was of immense value. In fact, at the time when my 1 year was completed, they turned me into a staff. They said I should come and be a staff with them. But sir, God told me 1 year with you, and I said it from the beginning. And that 1 year is completed, there is a new move. Of course, they just needed to release me and pray with me. I said, please keep the relationship, keep it up. But I was used. That is why I became. If I refuse being used, I won't talk today. I enjoy being, so don't let somebody say you are being used. That's your opportunity of being made. I ran all the errands, all the accounts of Reverend Aregun. I managed them. They sent a chartered accountant to come and train me for 2 weeks on debit, credit, accounting, and all manners. I wash all the clothes, iron all the clothes, clean all the floor, wash all the toilet, wash all the plates, do all. If you think of a dirty job anywhere, wash the gutter, wash everywhere. I did all those things. In the rain, in the gatehouse. Not because the gatehouse has a security gate. I sit with a chair inside the sun. Because the horn must not beep twice for the gates to be open. When you come to church on Sunday like this, I'm in charge of the house. I was a security official. I don't go to church on Sunday. Why? Because the house must be secured. So everybody goes to church. So I'm staying in the house. I'm just watching over. It is that being used that God is rewarding here. If I refuse to be used, I won't stand here today. So when you see somebody trying to do that, you don't know how many things I've done. Jesus. Okay, number next. The characteristics of a follower, I'm rounding off now. The untrusts. People who keep promises can be trusted. Those who don't cannot. It is essential that you deliver on every commitment, no matter how small. Whatsoever you say you want to do, say, sir, don't worry, this one will be done. Get it done. He said, I need this one done. Oh, I will do it. And the trust of your leader. That's how to be a great follower. Number next, as a great follower, offer solution. Great followers are solution providers. And when they cannot practically provide solution, they suggest ideas or links or people that can help provide it. That's how to be a great follower. You must not leave a problem and say, well, look, we don't know, let pastor come and solve this one. You are not a great follower. Take it as if, what if I'm the senior pastor I'm calling? What will I do? They say, we have done our best, we can't do more than this one. It's because you're not a great follower. You provide solution. If it is difficult, look for somebody that can provide it. Go, make a search, make a find this, make a research. People can easily trust solution provider. Now don't worry, if it is our kingdom I'm sending, he will find solution when it gets there. Even if there's a problem, he will solve it. We need followers because they are the ones who can become leaders. Number next, they are compassionate. They manage their leader and look for ways to reassure them that at least one person understands his pains and can be counted on to alleviate it. They reassure their leader. Say, ma, I understand what you're going through. I want you, and it is not fake assurance. Not the mouth one. The new. See, if there is one person for you, count me as one of them. Don't be a politician and say, me, the day I leave PDP, the day I die. Then the next morning they say, I decamp. No, don't be like those politicians. Speak to them. The truth. Ma, I'm with you in this. I'm not here for your comfort alone, to enjoy the comfort with you. We bear the pain together. When it is not working, we will stay here together. And if it is working, I'm here with you. Somebody was speaking to me, Pastor Henry. Some of you know Pastor Henry. He came for he said, I didn't know that story. He was telling me that story. He said when Bishop Oyedepo was coming up, his friends that they started ministry together, rather than ask Oyedepo and say, please tell us your secret, they felt like we are contemporary. How can I be asking my colleague to teach me something? Some of them even started before him. So they felt pride to ask and say, how is it working for you? He said when Bishop Oyedepo now went very far, then it was glaring that the guy has left them and they couldn't come again at that time. And he told me, he said, he doesn't want that to repeat itself with him. and is willing to ask me, how are you doing it? I say, me? I'm still willing to ask you to. Can you tell me how to do it? Do you get what I'm trying to say? And I love that humble heart. Willing to learn. There's people that will say, look, I'm with you here. I'm not leaving. Some people left him when things are not working. But when things worked, they couldn't come back to him. Because when the pain came, they couldn't stay. When the gain came, they didn't know the road back. Every destiny have the pain and the gain story. One man, my chairman in my office, the chairman of my office, of my commission, he said the reason why he gave his life to Christ was because everything was working well. There was no pain. They said this one, they pick him. He said, at this young lady, they are just qualifying me, calling me, this one, UN is calling me. He said, no, this is not normal. I must go and give my life to Jesus. It was not normal for him. If he touched this one, he prosper. He touched this one, is working. He touched this one, UN is calling him here. This one is calling here. They make you chairman of this committee. Things working for me, no problem. This is a sign of problem. That things are working, no trouble, is a sign of. So he said, Jesus, let me quickly come to you before the enemy attack me. This one is. He said that was the reason why he gave his life to Jesus. There will be the pain season, and you know why you need it? Because you need those pain seasons to know your true friends. If you think your friends are the people who came to you in your gain season, you lie. What brought them will make them go when that thing is not there again. So you need a pain season to know who are the people for you. When David was assaulted by his son and things were not working, some people insulted him, threw stone at him. When he was restored as king, they came back to beg him. He said, no, that time is the time I know those who were with me. Can't be part of me. He spoke to his son. He said, when you become king, deal with this kind of people. Don't let them be part of you. They were men who associate for the gain. You don't know true friends in the days of your gain. You know them in the days of your pain. So you need those seasons. And there are people as a follower, you are willing to stand with your leader in the days of his pain. Because that pain will not be forever. Then gain will also come. Let me add one more finally. Every great follower are loyal, are faithful. They take pride in making their leader look good. It is their joy when their leader progress. They are fulfilled when the success story of their leader spread, because that is their prayer. That is what they work to. It's not that they say, what's the matter with him? He has 2 cars, you have 1. That's not a follower. Because there are times in your journey that God will bring you in your seed season and make you walk in the harvest season of another person. So when that person is walking in the harvest season, you are in your seed season. Don't take his own harvest as your harvest, because you will be confused. It's your own seed season, so that because your own harvest will come. The person you are working for may be in his own harvest season. You are in your seed season. Take advantage of the seed season to learn. I've told it repeatedly. It is best to work and not be paid than to be paid and do no work. Because in any way, learning is greater than earning. So if you will be a great follower, you must be a loyal follower. Because the one that God will trust in leadership is the one he has tested in followership. If you pass the test of followership, it means your life is followable and God can bring men to follow you. I pray that God's word will fulfill in your life, that the spirit behind these teachings will rest upon you. You'll be great leaders for the kingdom. God's name will be glorified. In Jesus' mighty name.